Hi, Dean. Welcome on Director Talks. And I'm excited to talk about your film Game Day. And you are the co producer as well. So, before
Mhm.
I can divulge towards the topic of the film and how it was made and how the characters came about, I would like to know a little bit more about you. Like, how did you start acting? Were you a professional actor from the beginning, or did you kind of divert into the career later towards your life? So, how did it all begin?
Oh boy.
Mhm.
Well, I've been acting a pretty long time. I started acting right out of high school. I did community theater, and then I got in a theater company, and then I was on TV shows like Facts of Life and did commercials. I was Jim Beam in the Jim Beam ads, did everything from NYPD Blue to working with Billy Bob Thornton. And I've been a working and non-working actor for many years out here in Los Angeles. And did a bunch of straight jobs, coached high school football, waited tables. I'm a musician, and I'm still a musician. I play in bands, but I've always been an actor and a writer. But this one, Game Day, was the very first one that actually got produced and got made. So it was pretty exciting.
You just mentioned that you were a coach, football coach. So, was it inspired game day from any of your experiences as a coach?
I think it definitely added to it, and it was a big football's always been a part of my life, American football. Though I love soccer, which is the real football from what I understand. But yeah, football's always been a part of our lives. My grandfather actually played for a team that became the Philadelphia Eagles, which is the team that's talked about in the movie. And yeah, it's always been a big part of our lives. I loved coaching, but it was very difficult. I mean, coaching is an all-encompassing thing. So it really got to a point where I had to make a choice about 10 years ago because the acting was really picking up, and you know, it was time.
Right. So, this sports is actually a very integral part of every country. And I would like to know why a sports day film? Normally people choose commercial and action, horror, and all these kinds. So, why this genre?
Why was football integrated into the story? Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Yes.
Well, Philadelphia, which is where the story is placed in, is they take their football so seriously there. Myself being one of them. And I always found that those games, those Sunday games, especially when they played the rival teams like the Giants or the Washington team or of course, the Cowboys, that it was such an emotionally charged environment that it was always a day where there was fights, there was love, there was food, everything was heightened, everything went, from this level to that level. So I was intrigued with the idea of what about all of these family dramas coming together on this one given Sunday, and no better Sunday for that to exist than on a day when they play their most hated rivals, and temperatures are already high. So putting this family that's dysfunctional, to say the least, in this position where it's already like a heightened emotional environment, it just seemed like a natural thing. And if you've been to Philadelphia or Philadelphians, they can attest to the fact that it is a massive emotional experience, that Dallas game. The entire week leading to the game, all the radio, all the television, everybody, podcast, everyone is talking about nothing but that game. So we felt like it was a good focal point for this family's issues to come to a boil. So that's why we picked it. And we felt like it was a very organic thing.
Yeah, so it's an American Italian family, and Italian is synonymous with food as well. So, what is the story, the exact, like, if you could just give us a crux of the story, like the plot? What is this plot and the subplot?
Okay. Well, the basic plot of it is it's about this struggling actor who is raising his family. It's about a multi-generational family where the parents are living at home again, the kids, one of the kids are at home. There's a young kid. It's a divorced family, so they're integrated family. There's a lot of elements of the new wife, you know, the older son who's got a drug issue, and basically the son is coming to the game to be with his other older brother for his birthday, and it really is about this desire that we all have. Well, not all of us have. The lucky ones don't have. Unfortunately, I had it, but to show something, to prove yourself. You know, I want to prove myself to my father. I want to prove myself to my son. I want to show my wife I can still do this. So this is as is a game, which is metaphoric for what the movie is about. This is a chance for these people to get in there and to prove themselves to each other, to say, I still can do this. I still have this. I'm still running the family. The father, the guy who plays my father, who unfortunately passed away in real life. We just lost him last week. So it was a big shock to the whole production. And he did a fantastic job in it, Tony Devon. And his character was a business executive who had made some bad investments. And now his wife is saying, you know, what are we going to do? We're living here with our kids. So it really is this family proving ground that all comes together on one day. And it is everybody navigating to their point of worth. And a lot of times those navigations go right smack through each other's egos and sore spots. And so it's that interaction as it goes along.
So who's your favorite character from the film and why?
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I'm obviously drawn to the character that I played because all the whole story is loosely, I say, based on my family. But so I have an affinity to the character I did because I mean, I understand it so well. A lot of it is me. But I would say, other than myself, the character that I liked the most was the mother. I felt like my mother in it. I felt like she was battling generations, battling expectations that didn't come out the way she was hoping they would. She's facing her own mortality because she's got cancer and she's going through that. So I think that character had so much on the line. So I think that was probably my favorite of all the characters. But I got to pick myself, you know, Mary. I got to go my characters. Who's your favorite character? I'm my favorite character. I'm an actor, you know. What can I say?
Yes. So, Dean, were you involved in the writing process as well of the film? The script?
Yes, I was the co-writer of it, and it was, as I say, loosely based on my family, but definitely. I mean, it's funny, you know, Mary. I'll have people who have seen the film come up, and they'll say, "I never knew that things were that bad in your family." It's like, no, it's not a documentary. It's a drama. So it's my family isn't that bad. But no, I was the co-writer. The director, Edgar Bravo, wrote it with me. And he's a very bright guy. And he's in fact, I've known him. This is how long I've known him on and off. I actually got my SAG card in a movie that he directed way back when I was like 19 years old. So we've known each other for years, gone in and out of touch with each other, but he co-wrote it with me. So it was very organic though. It was very easy to write. We wrote it during the COVID shutdown. Yeah. And we dove really deep in. He was living in Atlanta. I was here in LA, and we would write every day, talk to each other, Zoom, and we got it knocked out.
So were you facing any blockages or writer's blockage, emotional, maybe, you know, cleansing your demons out of the closet while writing it, since it's kind of almost based on your family? How was the experience of
Right.
writing?
I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think there was a lot of exercising of demons in it. And I think that, of course, in anything, it has to be heightened, but it has to be truthful. And there's a difference between the two, because if it's heightened and it's dishonest, then you got a bad soap opera. So what we had to do is we had to really make sure that we were telling the truth. And if it wasn't specifically my story or Edgar's story, it was somebody that we knew very close to us, their story, and it was something that we knew was true and hit home. So yes, there was an element of that. When I write, it's funny. Writing for me is a strange thing. I'm a songwriter too, and I always tell my wife I'm a serial writer. Like for me, I can go literally months without writing anything, and I don't want to write it. If I don't feel like this is just itching to get out of me, I won't do it. I just won't sit down and just, okay, I've got to write now, I'm going to do it. I know that's not maybe the most professional way to do it, but I found that that is the most honest way. And I found that by doing that, I don't get a lot of writer's blocks. That doesn't happen to me too often, because I'll replay the story and tell myself the story, and I'll have written it in my mind 20 times over by the time I actually sit in front of that computer and start to write. So I don't know what it would be like being a guy, but I would think it's a lot like giving birth to a child without the pain and the obvious, lifelong commitment. But I think it's that feeling of like, I'm going to nurture this and nurture this and nurture this until it's ready to be born. And then I dive in and do it. And then I get crazy, obsessed. And my wife is like, when are you going to stop writing? When are you going to stop? Just one more.
Right.
I just got to get through this scene. So that's how it is for me.
Right. That's a
What's
great
it like
advice.
for you? Are you were right? You're a writer too, right?
Yes, I'm a writer too, and I'm just the same way. Like I cannot just people do write every day. They say you have to write every day, but I can't write every day because until and unless I'm sure about it and honest about it, then only and when I sit and write, I'll write it in one go and I'll just finish it off. But then I can't write for days then. It's like that till I feel it.
See, we're kindred souls.
Yes.
I totally get that. Because it feels like it then if you're forcing it, it
Yeah.
feels like trying to convince yourself of a lie. I really believe this. It's like I can't do that. I don't know. It's just not in my nature. So it sounds like you're the same way.
Yes, true. And mostly people do write to kind of please the audience, but I cannot do that. Like, when you imagine a story, it is your story and your imprint on it. So I cannot imagine it in another way, like how the audience will take it and how I have to please them. It's not that way. I don't know. At least I believe in that way.
So let me ask you a question then. When you sit down to write, do you think, are you aware of the theme, or do you write and say, I know there's a theme here, I'm going to discover this as I go along, or do you write with the theme in mind already?
I discover it as I go along. Like I might develop the story in days. Like I won't sit and have a theme, but I will
Mhm.
have the whole scene in my mind, what I have to write. That will be ready. But then when it moves forward, it will be like with the flow, not like a set theme.
Totally agree. Feel the same way. It's like, was it Da Vinci? Here we are, like we're a couple of filmmakers and we're talking about Da Vinci, like we're in the same world as Da Vinci. But it is an interesting analogy and viewpoint of it, where Da Vinci said that when he sculpted, he just was chipping away to find out what it was that was inside that slab of rock and slab of stone. And that's kind of how it feels, even at our lessened world of art. But that's how I feel. Like I feel like it's there, and I just kind of have to get to it. And sometimes
Right.
I have to let it ruminate. And I just
Right.
get to a point where I'm like, I want to write, and I'll be like, just think about it. Give it another day. Give it another day or
Right.
two to let it percolate. And then it's like,
Yes.
that's it. I got to
That's
write
it.
it now.
Yes, that's it. I mean, it's the same process with me. Yes. So I believe the filming was done during with the COVID restrictions, of course. So were there any problems while shooting? I believe it's just one location, like in a house, so it won't be that difficult. But still, with the characters and everything, how did it go?
It was a blessed situation, because I got to tell you, yes, it was during the lull. You know how we've had a few ebbs and flows. So it was definitely during one of the ebbs. So it was like some of the mask restrictions had dropped at that stage of the game, but it was still, we had to work within the confines of what the restrictions were. We got so lucky, Mary. There was like nobody got sick. We were in close quarters. Everybody was careful. I flew in from LA. Tony, had flown in. He lives in Philly, but I think he was in LA too, doing something. He flew in from LA. Shelly, who played my mom, flew in from Miami. We had people from all over the country. Brittany, who played the girlfriend, she flew in from Los Angeles, and then she was in Maryland. So we were all over the place. Thank God nobody got sick. There were no issues. Our fantastic camera man, cinematographer Laffrey, he got super sick, and we didn't know what was going down. So for one day, we had to shut down, get him tested. He was totally good. It was just like a regular flu. But we got really lucky. Thank God.
All right. So
how about you guys? How did you do? Did you make okay through it, or did
we were fine. I was fine during the pandemic. Like, obviously, I didn't make any films. But I have started my film festival right now, and that was also virtual, so that won't be a problem. I can screen it online, all the films and the entries. So that is what I'm doing right now, and maybe filming I might do later by the year end or something, as it's opening up slowly everywhere. Let's see how the situation is. Then I'll
yeah?
decide. Yeah.
When's your film festival? When's that kicking off?
That is in April. By April end, we'll be launching the channel. So all the films that will come through the festival will be screened on the channel.
That's exciting. I will definitely check that out. So that's going to be worldwide, right?
Yes, worldwide. Yes.
Very nice. So you excited about that?
Yes, quite excited. I mean, that's why I said if game day would be on our channel, like you could just submit it to our festival, we could premiere that as well.
That would be great. That would be awesome. Is it okay if it's been streamed already? I know some of the festivals.
That is okay. It's okay. Like, we have not kept any like tough rules like the other film festivals, like no restriction on the timing and the year and all those kind of.
You. Why do they do that? Why is that? I mean, because like so many of us, like especially indie filmmakers like us, we got to make a living. We got to try to get it out there and you know, and make some money and do what everybody else does. So I always found it to be like, I feel like we're like film priests. We have to take a vow of poverty in order to get our film scene. But that's good. No, we'd love to do that. So that would be great. And I look forward to it. And when in April is that going to be?
We haven't decided a date yet, but the film festival is open. It's open for submission now. The page is open.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I know somebody who's involved in it, so I'll definitely, you know.
Okay, sure. And so, Dean, before we can say goodbye to our listeners and of course our viewers, what is the final message you would like to give them, and where are the links to your film? Is it on Amazon, I believe, already?
Yes, it's on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, and it's on Vimeo, and you can actually go to our website, which is www.gamedaythemovie.com. Again, that's www.gamedaythemovie.com. And there's links there to renting or buying and seeing the film. And so please check it out. Very, very proud of it. Did our best to tell the truth and to bear as much of our souls as you can bear on camera and in film in an hour and a half or 2 hour medium. And I just want to say, folks, check it out, because I think no matter what part of the world you're from, no matter what family background you have, I will guarantee you will find at least 1 or 2 people in that film that totally you got them in your family too. So we feel like we told an honest family story. And in the final analysis, it's really based on the fact that truth and love and honesty to oneself and to people around you always leads to happiness, and always leads to the best life, not just for you, but for the people around you. So that's true in film and in life too.
It was great talking with you, Dean. Thank you for being on Director Talks, and I wish you good luck for your film Game Day.
You too, Mary. Thanks for having me, and I wish everybody well, and I hope to see you all soon.